My great-granddad, James John Turley, joined World War One at the age of 15. When war was declared, he joined within the next 2 months. He went with his older brother and they joined up together on the same day. 6 of his cousins and his uncle, which I've recently found out, and they all joined the same regiment, which was the King's Royal Rifles, 10th Battalion. After about 9 months training in the UK, which was a decent amount of time, they sent him over to Belgium almost immediately. And he was in Belgium before his 16th birthday, so he saw active service before his 16th birthday. He was at the Battle of Guillemot, which was part of the Battle of the Somme, and he went over the top. So they were in the trenches, in the French trenches, and they went over the top towards the French line. And as they did this, he was shot in the leg and was injured and lay injured for at least 48 hours in no man's land. By the time that they got to him, his leg was gangrene completely. So they got him into the field medical office, and there was nothing that they could do at that point. Bear in mind, this was 1916, so antibiotics hadn't even been invented. So with the infection, all they could do was chop his leg off. It was an amputation straight away, and they did that in France. And then within the next 2 weeks, shipped him back to the UK, where over the next, I think, 3 or 4 years, his amputation got higher and higher and higher until he had completely no leg. So, and upon returning, he was just devastated. He really, really was. So having his leg amputated meant that he had to spend at least 4 months in hospital to go through rehabilitation. They gave him a wooden leg, but it was a solid wooden leg without a knee joint. Apart from his physical disfigurement, there was the mental trauma caused by the war. And if you think, he was 15 when he joined. So it's the things that he would have seen as a child must have just been horrific. And in total, they estimate 20 million people were killed in World War One. And that is very close to the whole population of Australia. And my great-granddad witnessed some of the worst battles, especially the Battle of the Somme, under the age of 17. So that mental trauma never left him, and he refused to talk about it. Everything that I found out about it is through artefacts that he's left. He didn't talk to any of the family, any of his children, or his wife. Wouldn't tell anybody. And I've got some letters, and I know through conversations with my nan and her sister, and conversations that he's had with them, about how he felt betrayed. He left me a trunk that he brought back, and it's got all of his documents, including his registration sheet when he signed up in 1916, down to his discharge and all of his medals papers. But most interestingly to me are his soldier's small book, which every soldier in World War One was given. And it documents not only his pay, which, yeah, he was getting paid, but also the rules for being a soldier, and the kind of things that these young guys and boys needed to learn quickly. I think they were just coming out of the Victorian age when they went, and all of a sudden they were put into a situation where they had to learn to cook and fend for themselves and clean themselves and look after trench foot and just generally look after themselves in ways that nowadays modern day men are used to, but back at the turn of the century, that was women's work. I think it's really, really vitally important for our current generation and the new generations coming through to not only learn about the war, but to also remember that soldiers gave their lives, and not just in a patriotic sense, so not just in a sense of they gave their lives for this country, because lots of soldiers upon returning disagreed with that wholeheartedly, but in the sense that their youth was given, and sometimes their lives, their freedom. And these soldiers didn't realise, especially within World War One, what they were going into. And for me and my mum and my nan, we have a direct connection. This is my great-granddad is somebody that we've all met and someone we've all chatted to and we can remember. But for the younger people coming through, there is no direct connection anymore. And so I think it's really vitally important for everybody to remember, to reflect, and just take some time every year to think about what these soldiers sacrificed.